All right, guys, the highlight for today is for the trading room. We're trading, we gap open higher. We had a bullish open, I should say. Most everybody was bullish, and you really should have been, and we open and we go higher. So what happens in that case, it's hard to go down when you're already opening up strong. You kind of have a drive. This is 8:30, so you got everybody who's short from yesterday, no chance to get out. But a funny thing happened. We drive not only the depth of what we retraced it where my cursor is, but the speed at a couple moments we went down got me bearish. Now, first I'm wrong, but I don't have to get killed and wait to go up here to get out. But in my mind, I'm thinking, I don't want to be impatient and sell it in the hole, let it come to me. Still didn't work. But when I see this market make a higher high, which it does, right? And you don't know this is going to be or look like this. After it comes off a bar or two, you do. We talked about this yesterday. We talked about it as it was happening. You got to be careful of, is this passing the test and going to stay an uptrend and strong, or is it just cleaning out shorts like me, even though I didn't wait that long to get cleaned out, but other people who might have been short in here or maybe picked a top and been short there, they got cleaned out. There's always a chance that there are buy stops above a swing high. So look at this. If that's a swing high, there's always a chance that people put buy stops above a swing high to do what? The number one use of buy stops are for people to cover a short and generally for a loss. So buy stops are to cover a short and generally for a loss. So when you have people that cover a short for a loss, they're no longer bidding below. When you have a buy stop that gets triggered, what happens to your bids below? They get canceled, don't they? They're usually attached to each other. A buy stop is attached OCO with a bid below. You hope to buy it lower, you're short. But your buy stop is to close the position generally for a loser. So if indeed you slowly, or you just barely get up, maybe clear some of those buy stops and then head back down a little bit, that generally puts the bears in control, and the downside's the right side. And this doesn't become, look at the upper right hand side, doesn't become the pass of the test to go up, 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 and away. This becomes the next move that'll get retraced. A probability thing. Nothing's 100%. But we walk through it in the room live, so you're making sure, let me erase these drawings, that you're doing the best job to read the real time. Top weakness of people who trade, a lot different when you read about it, when you watch YouTube videos about it. No matter how great the education is, it's always a lot different when the game starts. So you want to walk yourself through it. Now, when I get short, and there was a head fake look right there, take a look at the right side of the screen, where it jumps up, comes down. Jumps up, comes down. I think it was the moment where I had gotten short and didn't take any heat and caught what I figured was going to be this to 71, because that was an orange spot as a target. Now, what I'm trying to explain here is not, oh, look at me, I'm great. No, I sucked and took a loser, but it didn't mean that I sucked. It just means I was early. Maybe it was what I was supposed, kind of what I wasn't supposed to do. That's why I use the word suck. But I don't, you can't cling to it and say, and let the rest of your day be identified with maybe a small mistake, because it wasn't awful. It's good to be wrong if you admit it, and you're not wrong up here. But what I did is I understood that maybe some other shorts get shook out. Now the boat could float because there's a lot less people in it. Less shorts, less buyers, it's easier to go down. And I don't care what the price is of. If there's less buyers of something, price generally has an easier chance of going down. And there were some sell stops that it hit. What I do when I'm long or short, in this case short, I always try to say, if I was long, how would I feel? So when you're short, do that. If I was long, how would I feel? And if it's like, and you could trick your mind well enough, I'd say there's no way I'd be comfortable being long inside that yellow box. No way. Based on this analysis, based on a head fake, based on some good sell stops that could push this market lower with some follow through, no way. And that could keep you, if you're objective, comfortably short. You don't want to be comfortably short because you're subjective and you're just cheerleading your position. You always got to work on being objective in a subjective business. That's really the definition of a professional. Now, what happened, and this is another thing that you have to do as a pro, is watch another market to help keep you in the trade. So at the same time, I'm waiting for the ES to go down like this, which is right before 9 o'clock. We take a look at the NASDAQ. As I think someone in the room said, hey, look at the NASDAQ. They started to get hit. And that only helps. That's what you want. You want them to break through where you might have sell stops. And that was actually a bit of a leader right after it pops. Right there. Right there. Oh, no, the chart keeps going. Come on. Back it up. You're not short for this, or you're going to get squeezed out. This was the squeeze where the S&P's made a higher high. Look how far the NASDAQ was further high. But when the NASDAQ comes back off and really gets hit aggressively, that could keep you more comfortable in your short position because the ancillaries, the correlations are doing what they should do to help squeeze out longs. That's where the selling comes from, to make your profitable trade profitable. So all these things help keep you objective, give you a better chance to be objective. And objective in trading means, am I bearish because I'm short, or am I bearish because I should be? Ask yourself that question. Think about that question. Trading isn't about the answers. Trading isn't about the right answer. It's about the right questions. And most people don't know the right questions. If you get the right questions, the answers become much easier to find. And then you know what to work on. One thing I stumbled upon yesterday, when I say stumbled upon it, just talking through it, and I mentioned it yesterday in a coaching session that we do. I mentioned it in our trading room today, and I'm going to mention it to YouTube. If an exchange came to you that has all the data, and they said, hey, Bill, Jim, John, George, Christine, Laura, you got one piece of information that we'll give you. What is it? And I want people to think about what that answer is. Put it in the comment section on this video and think about it. You only got one shot. You got one piece of data that you'll consistently get. And if you guys are in the room, don't cheat. You guys are in the room, you know the answer. There are a couple to 3 answers of what you should ask them for. But if you're a trading room guy or girl, don't put it in there. It's just YouTube audience. Don't be afraid of getting it wrong. Why I'm asking you this and why it's so important is because most people don't know what they would want from the exchange. And if you don't know, like, the number one thing you would want, how are you going to get better at finding it or stacking the probabilities to find it? It's like, I want to build a deck. I don't even know what a deck looks like. I don't even know what wood looks like. And I'm trying to learn to be a carpenter. You got to know the couple things you're after, right? Do you want to read order flow? Way too general. What questions do you have to ask? You want to value price and look at ancillaries? Which ones you watch and how does that work? So what is it you'd want to know from an exchange that had all the information if they offered it to you? And don't be afraid to be wrong, because this is all about, if you don't know that answer, you're going to have a tough time learning. You're going to go down the wrong path and stay on the wrong path. Try and educate yourself and get better. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel.